passed out. I don't know. We're trying to find some life. A few males and females have been shot. Upon that, there's like 500 people.
The Dyatlov Pass incident of 1959 stands as one of the most perplexing mysteries in modern history, where 9 experienced Russian hikers met their deaths under circumstances that continue to baffle investigators and intrigue enthusiasts worldwide. The case has become legendary not only for its mysterious nature, but for the disturbing evidence that has never been fully explained. The story begins with a seemingly routine expedition. 9 skilled hikers, comprising 7 men and 2 women, embarked on a journey to reach the summit of Otorten in the northern Ural Mountains. Led by Igor Dyatlov, the group was well prepared and experienced in handling the harsh Russian wilderness conditions. Their plan was straightforward: reach the peak, document their journey through photographs, and return by February 12th. Each member of the group had extensive hiking experience and was well versed in winter survival techniques, making their subsequent actions even more inexplicable. The crucial events unfolded on February 1st, when the group established their camp on a mountain slope. The location itself was typical for such an expedition, and their initial setup followed standard procedures for winter camping in the region. What happened next defies conventional explanation. Around 2 a.m., something caused these seasoned hikers to panic so severely that they cut their way out of their tents from the inside, abandoning all their essential gear and fleeing into the freezing night. The temperature was well below freezing, yet they left without proper clothing or footwear, a decision that seems incomprehensible for experienced mountaineers who understood the lethal nature of such exposure. The search for the missing hikers began when they failed to return as scheduled. On February 26th, rescuers made their first disturbing discovery: the abandoned campsite. The scene was particularly unsettling because the tents had been slashed open from within, suggesting a frantic escape. All their survival equipment, boots, jackets, and other clothing, remained inside the tents, untouched. The site showed no signs of a struggle or external threat, making the scene even more mysterious. The discovery of the bodies painted an even more disturbing picture. The hikers were found scattered across the area, some up to a mile from their camp. The first body discovered was that of Lyudmila Dubinina, whose condition raised immediate red flags. Her body showed inexplicable anomalies: missing tongue, eyes, and facial tissue. Even more puzzling were the conditions of the other bodies. Some were found wearing only underwear despite the lethal cold, while others showed signs of severe internal trauma. The positioning and state of the bodies suggested they had been fleeing from something, but no clear threat was ever identified. The autopsy findings only deepened the mystery. Several victims had sustained catastrophic internal injuries, broken ribs and crushed skulls, yet showed no external signs of trauma. These injuries were described as being consistent with the force of a car crash, but there was no evidence of any external impact. Adding another layer of mystery, traces of radiation were detected on some of their clothing. This radiation finding has never been adequately explained and has led to numerous theories about secret military testing in the area. The investigation at the time was thorough, but yielded more questions than answers. The Soviet authorities examined every aspect of the scene, from the condition of the equipment to the last known photographs taken by the group. The final photographs from the hikers' cameras showed normal activities and no signs of distress, making the sudden panic even more puzzling. Weather conditions were examined, and while harsh, they were not unusual for experienced hikers in that region during winter. Over the decades, numerous theories have emerged to explain these bizarre events. Some investigators suggest an avalanche forced the group from their tents, while others propose more exotic explanations involving military testing or even paranormal encounters. The avalanche theory, while plausible, fails to account for the radiation traces and the unusual nature of the injuries. Military testing theories point to the Cold War context and the presence of radiation, but no concrete evidence has ever emerged to support these claims. The Soviet authorities' official conclusion was remarkably vague, attributing the deaths to a compelling force. This ambiguous explanation has only fueled further speculation and interest in the case. In 2019, 60 years after the incident, the case was reopened, yet no definitive explanation has emerged to account for all the strange elements of the tragedy. Modern investigators have access to better technology and forensic techniques, but the core mystery remains unsolved. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains particularly fascinating because it combines several inexplicable elements: the group's inexplicable behavior in fleeing their tent, the bizarre nature of their injuries, the presence of radiation, and the apparent lack of external trauma despite severe internal injuries. These factors have made it impossible to settle on a single, satisfactory explanation. The case has become a touchstone for discussions about unexplained phenomena and the limits of conventional investigation methods. The enduring legacy of the Dyatlov Pass incident lies not just in its mysterious circumstances, but in its ability to remind us that some questions may never be answered. It stands as a testament to the limits of human knowledge and our persistent desire to make sense of the inexplicable. The case continues to generate new theories and investigations, demonstrating how compelling mysteries can capture the public imagination for generations. The incident has left an indelible mark on both the scientific and paranormal research communities. It represents a unique intersection of verifiable facts and unexplainable circumstances, challenging our understanding of what's possible and what remains beyond our current ability to explain. The mountain pass, where these events occurred, has since been named after Igor Dyatlov, serving as a permanent reminder of this haunting mystery that continues to challenge our understanding of reality.